You'll know. That first time that you really leave, you'll know it as the perfect complement to what's on the inside. That's how it works sometimes. You can only know life once you truly know death. You can only know true joy when you know true pain. When you come back, you'll literally have to rewire your brain. A concerted effort to come back inside. It will scare you. It will make you think that you might be going insane. But it's okay. It's important to come back. That's what I realized. You have to learn how to exist on both planes. And trust me, it's absolutely incredible at times. Now, I have to address this one issue because it did bother me a little bit. I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for subscribers on YouTube. I've gotten negative comments before on some of my recordings. But this comment bothered me, and it started to play on my mind. Well, one commenter commented that I was copying Adampants from YouTube. Jonathan. I think we all know who Jonathan is in relation to YouTube. I did address this in a recording I made a while ago. And I have listened to a lot of his recordings. But as I was listening to them, it's not as though it's exactly like he says, like you can't magnetically bond yourself to something. It's good to take what you want, look at it as though it's a passing stream, and a weary traveler may come, and they may feel thirsty, and they may gather from the passing stream. And that's what it is. But the reason I started making these recordings was because I want to share what I know. And I felt like there was no one anymore who was talking about this type of stuff. See, I'm not making this stuff up. All of the experiences that I would tell you happened to me. The way that I'm trying to cope with myself and to bring forth a better awareness is by making these recordings. I'm not trying to copy anyone. I mean, we're all waking up to our connection with creation. We're waking up to what we truly are. I mean, that's the whole point. Expressions of the universe. We are creation. Still creating from whence it came. So it continues to express itself. It's entropy. Our intelligence is simply an indication of the underlying intelligence that created life on this planet. We're not the result We're still the process. But I think people are confused with what Jonathan says about talking with animals and things of that nature. At least I know that I don't understand it the way that maybe some people might, or that he even thinks that he's saying it. You have to be careful with what people say, as I've said in my other recordings, because they can be under hypnosis. I'm always cognizant. That doesn't mean that I'm invulnerable. I know that I was under severe manipulation at times. I can identify that now. I mean, yes, you can talk to animals, but not in the way that the average person who would hear a comment like that would be thinking about it. This kind of stuff is something that you can't just do. You don't just read people's minds or travel in an astral body for fun. Can it happen? Yes. From my honest experience, it can. It can go the other way too. It can be overwhelming at times. You seriously worry that you're going insane. Nothing wrong with that though. You are perfectly fine. And I don't know, I hope that clears it up in case anyone else who's listening to my videos thinks that that's my motivation. I actually wish that he would make some more videos. I wish that more of us would make recordings. Send out more messages. Instead of listening to each other all the time, maybe we should really try and shake off this collective herd mentality. It's bringing us down in the first place. It's the complete dominance of our beings. It's so insidious and discomforting. Whether it's the reptilians or the greys or the purple goblins or Lucifer, it's happening. Well, the conclusion I came to regarding Jonathan Adampants is that he had a lot of important things to convey. I do think that he was under explicit mind control at certain points of his speeches. Certain metaphors that he uses, like football players passing a football, and that's basically Satan, or his notion of cancer consciousness that he talks about. They don't really necessarily resonate with me. They never really made sense to me in the way he was talking about. Yeah, I mean, it would seem that there's evil, but it's simply the reciprocal of the good. You can't know what is good unless you know what is evil. It's like having everyone win all the time. You can't have a winner without losers. Someone needs to lose for there to be a winner. You can't overcome evil. And lastly, I know that some people think that my videos are kind of boring because I talk really slowly. And I try to think about what I'm saying before I say it. I made a conscious decision when I started making these recordings that I wanted to use as little rhetoric as possible. I mean, I could babble on for hours, probably not really caring about half the stuff that was coming out of my mouth. You don't know how dangerous that can be. That's when you can be incredibly susceptible to passing energies. But at least it's authentic. I mean, this is actually more of a short story in itself, based on true events. But at the same time, it's kind of like a diary entry. It's kind of like a journal for myself. See, I want it to be authentic. But at the same time, I know that it can get a little bit dry, a little bit tedious at times. And I want you to listen. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. You know, I talk to people all the time, and I always end up using a lot of rhetoric. And it keeps their attention extremely effectively. And they want to hear more. Lots of people tell me that, wow, I've never really thought about things like that. Or, where did you read that? Where did you hear that before? And I mean, I have my influences, but what I always use as my anchor is my own experiences. But then through the natural, I guess, progression, that whatever you want to call it, I come across new perspectives. But it's almost as though I'm being shown the perspectives. It's like one way of initiation into the higher levels of the Tao or the Tao. Is you're only given little pieces at a time. They're not just going to come right out and say, this is how you do it. They're going to put you through tests. They're going to put you through certain obstacles. They're going to tell you, this is it. And if you are satisfied with that, then you'll never get past that level. And that's basically how it works, but sometimes you do have to be given a little bit of a nudge, given a little bit of a hand, a little push. But yes, you will get massive resistance. It'll seem subtle at first. The further you go, the more you're led on your path, the higher you get on your mountain, the steeper it gets, the more obstacles you will encounter. But remember that as you get higher and higher up, it gets steeper and steeper. Your legs, they start to burn. Remember,